It's Blood Alley, low-income housing, now bought by the province, and they're going to be redoing this whole thing as better quality social housing, publicly run as opposed to privately run, and not very good in the past. This is probably the first city-initiated back lane activation, inspired by much smarter places like Melbourne and Adelaide, where they literally just a couple of weeks ago had booths set up in here to get public input on how to activate the lane and show all the boards and such. There's been effort over past years to connect the buildings inward. We can actually walk through there and you'll see a little back alley, and we'll get out to the corner. This whole project was done by a very good heritage developer who followed our direction to try to connect to here. You can see some of the other stores. These are in recent years. And just down there you see the front, there's a restaurant called Salt Tasting, which has no kitchen. That's why it's Salt cheese. But imagine it's mid-block. It's almost directly in the middle of the block of one of the dodgiest alleys originally at the time. And they opened a restaurant opening onto the street. And you actually had to walk through some scary stuff in either direction to get to it. It was the bravest thing I'd ever seen. It opened up just before I arrived in 2006. But sort of other things have happened since then, so it was a pretty powerful catalyst. But yeah, I think we have got great alley space. When you look down these alleys, when you look at that wooden electrical infrastructure, it's fascinating. The photographers love taking pictures down here. It's such fertile opportunity for placemaking, and we have been incredibly timid about using it, notwithstanding some great international models. So since I left City Hall, I've been really beating this like a drum, saying we've got to do better. One of the big issues was how they're used for garbage and waste, and not just from an engineering department perspective, but because a lot of the homeless in this neighborhood they're binners, and they come back and they get their stuff and they take it to the recycling, and that's income for them. So if you took those all out and internalized them, then you've got a social issue with the low-income community and homeless here. So the layers of complexity when you talk about wanting to transform this space. But there's a new design that they were just showing that'll redesign this whole space. And to me, that's interesting, but the most important thing is to punch out these uses and have something going on horizontally. Vertically.
Is there a story behind the name Blood Alley? Or?
There probably is. I don't know it. Okay. And I should have checked, because I've often thought, boy, how do we give such scary names to places we want to be friendly?
Yeah, it was butchers or slaughterhouses or something like that.
That's also the play on meat, which is a vegan restaurant.
And to further introduce some of the language we've been talking about, we call this the B side, where the principal address street is the A side, but the whole new set of rules, as Brent was explaining, you still need that security and transparency and all the things for it to really activate and work, but so many cities overlook their alleys, and Victoria is one of the great places in all of North America for having done the right things with alleys. Yeah. Should we walk down another block or so?
No, we're going to go in here. We're going to see the corner, because this corner, I'll actually explain it here so we're not out on the street. This is the main intersection of Gastown. There's the statue of Gassy Jack. Somebody asked, where does Gastown's name come from? Gassy Jack was the sort of father of this area. And look around that intersection. It's got a flat iron building condition. It's got one of the best patios in the downtown, right on the corner with Joe Winston. And just so look at that space, and then we're going to walk up Water Street, which is the most historical street in the downtown, the original shopping street. For years it was very touristy, all t-shirt shops and such. It's gotten better, but there's still a debate about it being too high-end to serve the low-income community in this area. It's gotten a little more authentic though, and a lot of really good heritage restoration. You see new construction mixed in with heritage. None of that's accidental. We have the most prolific heritage density bonusing system in North America. And we have what's called a density bank, where developers who instead of demolishing this, preserve and restore it. The cost of that is calculated, of doing all that work. That gets translated into an amount of density which they can sell to other developers in the downtown to pay for this. So I actually say it's not that altruistic to be a heritage developer. It's actually pretty smart, and this because the city compensates through density, and they can land it in other places, and so developers will buy it from them. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. That is, when we go along Water Street and you see all the heritage restoration in the whole area, none of that would have happened without this density bonus heritage bank system, which all the heritage developers will tell you. Most powerful tool in heritage preservation in North America.
We're now about to walk through a mew, another word in our lexicon, a mew.